Hey guys, thank you so much for joining for today's session. We'll start off with an introductory video.
हे दोस्तों, वेलकम टू अपना कम्युनिटी। ये वो जगह है जहां आप अपने असली पोटेंशियल को एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं। देखो, सबके पास स्किल्स होते हैं, पर क्या आपके अंदर वो स्पार्क है जो आपको कामयाबी की ऊंचाइयों तक ले जा सकता है? अगर आप सोच रहे हैं जॉब चेंज करने के लिए, लेकिन रेज्यूमे सेलेक्ट नहीं हो रहा, या फिर इंग्लिश में इंटरव्यू देना थोड़ा चैलेंजिंग लग रहा है, तो फिक्र मत कीजिए। यहाँ हम हैं आपके साथ, आपको सपोर्ट करने के लिए। अपना कम्युनिटी में आपको मिलेगी बेहतरीन कम्युनिटीज जहां आप अपने प्रोफेशनल स्किल्स को सुधार सकते हैं। चाहे आप एक्सेल, टैली, जीएसटी में माहिर बनना चाहें, या फिर आप खुद एक ब्यूटिशियन या डिजाइनर हैं, तो यहाँ आप अपने काम को शोकेस करके दूसरों को टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स देते हुए आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। अपना कम्युनिटी में आपको मिलेगा मेंटर्स का एक खजाना और बड़े इन्फ्लुएंसर्स का साथ, जो आपको हर कदम पर 1-to-1 गाइड करेंगे। यहाँ आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं अपने फील्ड या इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप्स, जहां आपको ऐसे कई लोग मिलेंगे सीख के आप वो गलती ना करें जो वो कर चुके हैं। ऐसे लोगों की जिन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था एज एग्जीक्यूटिव्स एंड आर नाउ सक्सेसफुल मैनेजर्स इन देयर डोमेन्स, जो आपको आगे बढ़ाने में मदद करेगा। यहाँ आपको मिलेगा वो सही डायरेक्शन जो आपकी करियर को नेक्स्ट लेवल ले जाएगा। तो लेट्स अनलॉक योर पोटेंशियल टुगेदर। अपना कम्युनिटी में ज्वाइन करें और अपने सपनों की ऊंचाइयों तक पहुंचने का सफर शुरू करें।
Great. Thank you so much, people. Thank you for joining today's session. Welcome. My name is Rohan, one of the co-founders of QFUS. QFUS is a mentor aggregator platform. We are supporting Apna with the Xclusives community engagements. And at Apna, we have been doing this for a while now. It has been termed as Apna Exclusives. It happens on weekdays at 7 p.m. and weekends at 3 p.m. The main idea is to help people ideate and advance in their professional careers. And we are also covering a wide range of topics, be it data science, product technology, accounting, spoken English, and any other functional spoken skills. Today we have with us Mr. Ashish Mishra, who's an advisor, data science at Boomi, who's going to help us with understanding the topic of AI at work and how it can simplify our day-to-day routine. Without much overdue, I'll hand it over to Ashish, and we'll be taking up any questions on the chat box as we move on with the session. And if anyone feels that they want to unmute themselves and ask for a question, please do feel free to do so. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Rohan. Let's start the session. I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I think my presentation got stopped. Let me open it back. Okay, so as we all might have heard about the Gen AI from either from some recent courses or from some recent articles, and we might have heard about it a lot. So today I have curated this session with some of the scenarios where Gen AI can help, and it I try to make it as broader perspective as possible so it can cover or everyone can correlate with all of these scenarios, at least one of these scenarios. So you can correlate and you can think about how you can use it and how you can leverage the current technologies and how you can solve your day-to-day issues while you're working. Okay, so it's very powerful tool which you can use as one of your assistants, and you can enhance your productivity. That we can say in short, but if I have to tell it in more detail, then you can automate your repetitive tasks. You can use it for data analysis. You can use it for decision making. You can use it to reduce or streamline your workloads, or you can use it for effective communication. So there are many such scenarios where you can make use of these AI tools. So it includes ChatGPT, Claude, or there are many different tools and many different models which are available. So either you are familiar with the coding platform or coding languages, or you might not be familiar with the coding languages, then you can go for the tools which are already created, and you will get some either paid versions or free versions. So you can make use of uh, any kind of tools or language, and you can leverage these in your day-to-day life. So now let's explore what all different scenarios we are going to cover now. Okay. So this is first scenario where the person needs to create a content for a marketing. So we have content creation scenario for the marketing. So let's read out through the scenario first. So Sarah, a marketing manager, needs to create engaging social media post for a company's new product launch. So whenever a company is launching a new product, they need to create social media campaigns, posts, and that should focus for a defined community. Let's say within an age group or within a demography, let's say within Maharashtra or within, let's say, US, California, or within US also California. So these kind of target audiences we need to pitch in with our campaigns, with our effective content. So what should be the post title? What should be the post content, and how you can make the fonts for your text? What all images you should choose? Where should your logo be? So all of these questions comes in a mind. So when you start working, you have to look for some of the examples which already exists in the market, or is there any previously done work on the similar kind of use cases. So you go through all of these things. Okay. So now here we can look through it, what GenAI provides. So how we can leverage it. So there are many different tools which are available, and you can choose all of these options, and you can generate, then you can analyze, and you can make modifications on top of that. Okay. So these are some of the creative and compelling options which I'm sharing one of them here. So let's go through this Microsoft Designer. This is from Microsoft. So you might have heard about other models as well, like Azure and Graphite model from the Microsoft. So they have came up with different scenarios for the images, and one of them is brand kit. So you can see create with AI options we have. So if you go on this brand kit option, you will get all different options which we discussed, whether to set a font, whether to set a image or a brand name. So let's say just for this explanation, let's say I'm giving it is as Beta Dojo. So you can just put it in layman words, like what it does. So I'm changing a scenario here a little bit. Podcast uh, videos for uh, data analytics, and uh, we can say GenAI experts. So if we click on generate, it will do some processing, and it will generate some of the options for us. So quickly, we will just go through all of those options which are present and what all we need for it. So it will give you a basic idea like what generally a brand kit contains. While it is still creating, do anybody have any questions as of now? Okay. So if you see here, this is the image. These are some of the options for choosing the color combinations, what color combinations you want to use. And you can further go through it, like you can have logo, voice, what should be your brand voice, what should be your font. So you can choose fonts for heading, subheading, body text. And then you can choose your colors, like what color palette you want to use. So here you can also select the different fonts. And once you have done all of these, you can download your brand kit and you can start using it for your campaigns, for your posts. So you can follow these uniformity in your brand campaigns. Okay, so let's go back to a different scenario. Like this way, you can have it for any different thing. I don't know why it keeps closing. Let me open it back. Okay, so let me move this one down. Oh, maybe top is fine. So next scenario which we have is design prototyping for product development. So when we create a product, we look for some design prototypes, whether it's a software product or it's a, you can say, any hardware product as well. So we create some prototypes, either we create it on Adobe or we create it on some UI platforms. So when we have to create a design, we have to look for everything from the scratch, like uh, talking about, let's say, software products. We have to find out the right color palette. We have to identify the icons, icon sizes, icon images. Then we have to identify where we should put our images, where we should put our content, where we should put our header, footer, and many things comes into picture. So how do we define it? So based on this example, you can understand we can have our GenAI tools to generate the initial prototypes, which can further help us to refine it based on what we think. So first prototype can give us an idea, like how do we translate our understanding to the images. Now, after that, we can do some improvisation, and that can help us to improve it further. And it will reduce our effort to create version from 0 to 1. 0 to 1, we can get it from the AI, or we can take AI's help to improve it further. So there are some scenarios like you can take help of some of the already available tools like UiZard. Let's say I can showcase you one tool. So now I'm moving it. Let's say if I go to UiZard, here you can just pass your prompt. It will give you a proper UI design with some sample screens. So let's say an e-commerce for furniture sales. If I just put this, so you have some initial free trials that you can make use of. So let's say I'm going ahead with this, one of the accounts. You can always choose between free and premium. That is up to you. So here I already have one. I'm deleting this one now. Now you can go ahead with this. Let's edit it. E-commerce named performance for furniture sales. So let's try this. I'm just choosing the default options. So you can see what all screens it creates. So those you can take it as your initial steps. It's not the final. You can always edit it and you can improve it further. You get all of those options as well. So it's still getting created. You can see all of the options uh, started coming up, like template, shape, text, images, icons, buttons, forms, and what should be your brand name and brand logo. So here you will also find an option to export and download this. You can always download it in image format, which you can use it at later point of time. So if you can see, it created all of these screens, which you can use as your initial prototype. Now you will have some idea like from what point you need to start. Instead of starting from point 0, now you can start from point 1 at least. So now let's say I'm just showing you a preview for this. So one thing you can understand it from this, like obviously more better prompt will give you more better result. So that prompt tuning or how to write a better prompt, that you can either learn it by practice or you can learn it online. So this is the first screen. Now if you move it, you will see all of these options. It's a product page. Then you can see, you can click on this. You have all of these options. We can see what all pages we have. So we have landing, search, product details, cart, and order status. So we can also look at it. And we have additional design proposals for the shopping cart and product catalog and this home page. Okay, you can click on this and you can look at all of these one by one as well. Okay, so not going into that much detail, let's go back to our third scenario. Okay, so our third scenario is data analysis for business intelligence. So here a data analyst needs to present quarterly sales trends to the company leadership team. So instead of manually sorting through spreadsheets, uh, you can use a Gen AI tool that automatically analyze the sales data and generate comprehensive visual reports. So how you can do this? So when you have a data in Excel, there are many tools for the Excel. You can search for Gen AI tools, and those you can leverage, which can help you to consolidate your data, or you can generate some actionable insights. You can generate bar charts, pie charts, and trend charts, and you can also generate some pair plots as well. So I'll quickly showcase it. So let's say if you search for GenAI tools for Excel. So you will get some of the already available options, GenAI tools for Excel. It's provided from Microsoft as well. You can add it in your Microsoft Excel. If you click on get it now, you will get all of these tools. Now, what all things you can do from this? So you can see by writing a prompt, you can have multiple options. So what all options you can have? You can have classification. You can ask a question for your data. You can ask a question like greater than this, less than this, or find this information. Or you can also ask it to recognize the images as well. So like that, you can have multiple options. You can just plug in.
Canada bus. I don't have computer and I have phone.
Hello. Yeah, is there any question?
Yeah, if there's a question, you can put on a chat box or feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question, please.
Okay, fine. So if anybody is having any question, you can ask, or else we can move forward.
I want to tell in Kannada.
Sorry, I can't hear you properly.
I want in Kannada explain.
I think Ashish will move ahead, and if there's anything, we'll take it up in the chat box.
Okay, sure. Okay, now fourth one is code generation for software development. So we can also use GenAI tools like Copilot from GitHub, or there are many different tools which we can make use of to generate an initial code, or take help for uh, bug finding, or to take help for optimizing the code. So there are multiple different scenarios which can be used to generating the code to optimizing the code, and doing it. Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, and writing complex algorithms by simplifying the steps. So you can use Copilot from GitHub. You can use ChatGPT as well. So let me give you an example for this. So these scenarios, you can read through it. These scenarios will give you an idea, like if it was helpful at this point, then how you can make use of it. Okay. I have this. So let's say I have ChatGPT already opened. So let's say
Hello guys, hi.
yes. Okay. So what we can do, let's say I want to do database operations. I'm just giving you an example. Whoever is having some technical understanding, that will be understood. So class application for database operations. So now by default, it is giving me in Python, I think. You can also ask it to change the language. So it is giving you what packages you need to install, what will be your project structure, and what is the code. So it is giving you the code. Now you can start using it directly. And obviously you can make modifications in this.
Kal yeset kya munggedo? Oy, yeset kya?
So this HTML content, you can make use of it if you want to. And you can see here, the basic intent was to showcase how we can have APIs created. So this looks like this. If you use this code, you can have all of these APIs created like index, add user, update user, delete user. So in similar fashion, you can create APIs for yourself. So not only this, let's try to add comment in this.
Cut ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ cut ಮಾಡು ಸಾಕು.
Would request everyone to please be on mute, and if there is any question, you can drop it in the chat box. Please do not disturb in between.
So if you look at this, now it is started adding the comment
ಆಯ್ತಾ
section. So
ಆಯ್ತಾ ಆಯ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ
you can always copy paste it and you can run it in your local, or you can also make changes according to your business use case, or you can write better prompt to which can help you in writing.
ಹಲೋ 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 ಹಲೋ
Sneha, if you can just mute everyone, please. Mute all. I'll just mute everyone.
Yes, Rohan, I have done.
Fine. So am I audible to everyone? Yes, I think. Okay. Now we can go ahead with the next scenario, that is personalized learning for professional development. So let's say I'm in a first year or I'm in a third year of my career, or I'm just going to start my career. I want to know what all skills should I take, or for a skill for my position, let's say I'm a Python developer, or let's say I am a business development manager. So what kind of career path or what kind of skills should I train with, so I can get a higher growth in my career, or I can move ladders up, like I can get promotions easily. So what all I should be prepared with? So to get a personalized training modules, or to get a recommendation for my current skill level, I can use GenAI platforms, which can assist me or which can help me to identify what all I have to learn. So that use case is like personal learning. So I can just write here, let's say I'm a software developer. Let's say I'm writing in AngularJS. Give me a career path I should follow, and what skills I should focus on. So I have written a prompt. Now we can see what all it suggests. So as an AngularJS developer, you already have a strong foundation in front-end development. To advance your career, consider the following career paths and skills to focus on. So now it is giving me what all career options available for me as an AngularJS developer. So I can be junior, mid-level, or senior, or lead developer, or architect, or engineering manager, or CTO. So one can start with this position, and they can, at the end, eventually they can be maximum position can be CTO. Now, what all they do, it's also written here. Now, what all skills I should focus on from the front end perspective, from the back end perspective, from the DevOps perspective, because as we move ahead, we need more and more skills. So we can contribute more and we can justify what we are working on. And along with what all soft skills we need, what all we need to learn day to day, in like other than course, what all we need to follow. Now, let's say suggest some good sites or portals where I can find these. Now let's take suggestions also from this. So it is giving us what all platforms and what is their comparison. Like what do they provide? So Udemy provides what kind of content and Coursera provides what kind of content, what is their link, tutorial site, EDX, free code camp. So even we can list courses from this. So that I'm not going ahead. So you can also try to explore from your side. So it is giving all kind of options where I can read about the documentations, I can follow the official tutorials, and what all online communities and forums are available, which I can join. So what all I need to follow and what all I need to do. So all of these certifications which are available for us, what all development courses I can do. So all different things we can refer. That way it can help us in our professional development. So let's go back to the next scenario. Now, next scenario is scenario planning or simulation for our strategy. So this we can do for any scenario. It can be resource management, or it can be, let's say we are working on a uh, event management. So we can also do this event management. Let's say we are going for a tour for a location, what all we should visit, what all we should look for. So those tour and travel planning also we can do from uh, ChatGPT or any other tool. So we can analyze multiple scenarios, we can do our planning, we can make it more effective, and we can also do risk assessment when we follow a plan. So all of these for different scenarios, we can do it for any industry or any use case. We can apply this. So, for example, let's say I'm giving here, I want to visit Sikkim for 6 days. What all places I should cover? Give me itinerary for this. So now it is giving me 6-day itinerary for me for Sikkim. So now you can see here, first day I should go to Gangtok. I should be staying there. I should visit these places. And then I can do the sightseeing on second day. And then I can go to Lachung. So likewise, it is telling me for all 6 days. So one is West Sikkim, one is East Sikkim, I think. This is 17,000 feet. So we can see as it is writing, it is completing what we have asked for. Now it gave us complete itinerary for 7 days. So where 6 days we are visiting and 7th we are returning. Now let's ask it to, let's make it 3 days with important places covered. I'm asking it to make it 3 days. I'm asking it to optimize it. Now you can also compare what all it removed now. So what all are important, what all we should visit for sure. So based on that, it is now reduced it further. Okay. Now I can ask for what all this is involved, whether it's cool weather or whether it's any passes I need to take. So what all can happen, what all can go wrong. So based on that, I can take my decision, what all I should be keeping with me. So it is giving risk and mitigation. So risk and mitigation for all kind of things, road condition, permits and documentation. So everywhere I need to take the permit. So I have given you one scenario where you are traveling somewhere. You can also take some industry-based scenario as well. Like you're working on a product, you want to create a project pipeline, or you want to create a 6-week completion Scrum board or Jira board. So all of these scenarios also you can take. Okay. So you can see all of these risk and mitigation from all perspective it is already giving. So I can plan it further and I can make my trip successful. So like that, you can do it for any other scenario. Okay. Now coming back to our next scenario. I don't know why it's keep on closing. Let me open it back. So you have covered till scenario 6. Now scenario 7 says automated testing for quality assurance. So when someone is working on QA engineer profile, that person is responsible for testing a new software update. So we can use a GenAI tool which can automatically generate test cases based on the software specifications. So whatever code is already written, either we can use a copilot which will help us while we open it in our integrated development environment. That is ideally. So it's from coding perspective where we have to write test cases. So we can focus on more complex bugs instead of more simple bugs, because simple bugs and simple scenarios, we can already cover it with GenAI and we can write test cases faster. And then we can focus on more complex scenarios. So that can be a helpful point for any QA engineer or who is working on testing a code. So for example, I'm giving example using ChatGPT, but you can do it from any other tool. As I said, Copilot, or even you have different models as well. So in this scenario, let's say write test cases for previous Python API. So we have written a Flask application before in this code. Now I asked to create a testing setup for that. Let me close this. Okay. So now let me move it. So you can see it created some of the test cases. I have a tier down where I'm closing all of my connections. I can add a user, I can update user, I can delete user, I can test the index. Okay. Now these are some of the simple test cases. I'm also getting one explanation like what all function does and how I can run it. So now I can also ask it to add more test cases on this based on what all APIs we already have. So like that, we can create some unit test cases for any given software. Okay. Now going back to this again. We have next scenario as customer personalization for e-commerce. So for any e-commerce business owner, so this is main pain point we can say, or that is something which they want to do to increase the customer experience. They want to personalize everyone's dashboard for them. So personalization means whatever you searched for. So next time when you open that application or that website again, you should get suggestions for products similar to that, or products which can be bought together, or there can be multiple different scenarios based on what customer experience you want to provide to them. So this can be easily adoptable using GenAI as it works on NLP use cases, natural language processing. So by providing each shopper's purchase history or browsing history, it can be created using GenAI. So we can also ask it as a question to GenAI, or we can ask it, or we can integrate it with our application using LLM models. So all GenAI tools are using large language models, which are nothing but as machine learning models we had previously. Here it's a big model, so we call it as large language models. Okay, so in case of ChatGPT, we have GPT models, and in other cases we have different models. Some of the open source models also we have, like Mistral and other models. And for this scenario, let's say I'm asking here, I'm just framing a prompt here. So that will not always be the case, but it can be helpful to make some decisions. Let's say I have a grocery store. My customer A generally buys milk. What other products should I suggest him? Okay. I'm just giving this much information, but in general, we can give more and more information. So now we can see how that recommendation works. So it is without any context and without any previous history. It is giving me very relevant things like if the person is buying milk, and what else I can suggest? Dairy products, breakfast items, baking supplies, snacks, beverages, household essentials, and uh, other miscellaneous options. So it is giving me all of these things. Suggestion between 0 to 1. Now I'm asking it to give an score also. So I can keep it as a suggestion based on some score threshold. So it is giving 0 0.8, 0 0.7, 0 0.6. So here, let's say if I put 0 0.7 as a threshold, cream I don't need to show. 0 0.7 is a threshold, and sugar I don't need to show. All of these two I don't need to show. Crackers I don't need to show. So like that, I have got a threshold as well. Now this can be used at any place. Okay. So I have given you one scenario. You can make use of it at any other scenario. So next scenario is language translation and localization for global businesses. So whenever we are working on a global business, so let's say some product owner or some e-commerce owner from Germany, they will have their own native language. So now let's say they're launching in India as well. So we can use Gen AI as a language translation tool, which can help us to translate the language, and that can be eventually be used as a translator for whole application or for whole website. So that is a very good use case when you want to localize your content based on the country and language. So it will help you to reach your target audience very easily, and you can broaden your product reach by making it available in localized language. So this is also one good scenario. We can test it out with the prompts on your either ChatGPT or Claude or any other platform. So I have came up with all of these scenarios. Now, in each of these scenarios, we have seen how using Gen AI, we can either start our work, or how we can improve it further, or how we can take help of Gen AI in our day-to-day tasks. So we can work on something more complex or something more effective, while small things we can take help of Gen AI to do it do it faster. Okay, it increases our productivity, and it can help us achieve more with less effort, which will directly or indirectly, we can say it will boost our growth, and it will help us in innovating faster. So with this, I'm ending from my side. Is there any question? We can take it.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for the wonderful, insightful session. Yeah, we'll take up questions. Any questions? We have a good 10 minutes for Q&A. If there are any questions, we can take up questions. And meanwhile, while we take up the questions, I'll also put up a feedback form on the chat box for everyone to please provide us feedback, which will help us improve the sessions. And also, please register to the link that I've just sent now, which will give you access to all the sessions that has happened over the last month, and also the recordings of this session that has happened. So please request you to fill up the feedback form, and also request you to register yourself on Apna Exclusives. And we are open to have questions if there are any.
Yes, Chetna, you can ask. I think you raised your hand. You can unmute yourself.
Chetna, you can unmute yourself, yeah. Chetna, can you... Okay, 1 minute. I'll just see if you can unmute. Participants.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sir, can you please explain first two scenarios?
Okay, fine. Let me explain. So first scenario was content creation for marketing. So let's say you're working in a product company, or in any organization. So they are launching some new product. They want to create some marketing campaigns. They want to create some social media post. So you can you have you always have a question what kind of font you should use, what kind of brand voice or tagline you should use, and what kind of images and what kind of colors you should use. So these are some of the basic questions which always you need to look for. So there is one tool you can take help of, that is Microsoft Designer. This is a GenAI tool. So this is not the only tool, but this is one of the tools which is helpful in those kind of decisions. So if you go back to this, you have a brand kit as an option. So you can look for it. So let's say I search for brand kit. So here you can give your brand name. So I think I have given previously Data Dojo, and tell us what your brand does. Data Dojo is a podcast platform which helps us connecting with experts in data domain for experience sharing. So I have given it one small prompt. Now, if you click on generate, it will give you a brand kit, which will help you take decisions on fonts, brand wise, logo, and what kind of text, what kind of images you should choose, what kind of color you should prefer for your brand. So you can experiment with those here, and now you can make use of it to create your campaigns further. So now you can see you have got some of these options, right? You can also look for what all other things it created. You can also try to get your logo design from here. Okay. So now let's say if I click on this, I'll get all of these options. Okay, colors, fonts, voice, logo. If I click on font, I'll get all other options, like what should be brand font, what should be my font. If I have any font file already, I can upload it here. I can use my color palette. Let's say if I want to change my colors, I can choose some other colors as well. Okay, so these kind of things we can practice, and we can use it to simplify what we are going to work on. Okay. Now let's go back to the second scenario. So second scenario is design prototyping for product development. So here, let's say you are developing a software product. So there are tools using which you can create your prototypes or initial prototypes, you can say. So I have shown one example of this. So here, how do? We write a prompt, and using that prompt, we can generate it. So if I have to showcase from a start, okay. So here we generally write a prompt. So once you, let's say, modify selection. So here, once we write our prompt, these are different free or pro options are available. So by defining a prompt, you can get it created. So what I got here, all of these options. Now you can also see, like, we can make changes on this. So let me show it in a preview. Okay, so if I click on this, this is your product page. You can see all of the products. So kind of these are the screens which it created for my product or for my company for commerce. Okay, Now I can take it as initial point, and I can make I can make it in use, and I can edit it further. So I can edit for the connections, or I can go for the changes. Here I have only one option. Now I can see what all. So currently only this one is connected, so that's why it is showing. Now, but we also have multiple different things. So we can also look for what all it generated. So with just one prompt, we have generated uh, these 5 different kinds of screens, and we have some options as well for those screens. Okay, so we can always edit it, and we can use it as a starting point. Okay, so is it clear? Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it's clear. All right. Okay, so if there are no more questions, then I think, Ashish, thank you so much for the insightful session. We will probably wrap up now. Thank you again.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Neha, and thanks, Ashish.